All right, let's stay with this. U.S. President Joe Biden says a woman's right to have an abortion is fundamental after these reports emerged that the Supreme Court is preparing to overturn the federal abortion law. Nick Harper is live outside the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. Nick, thank you for being with us. Let's start with a little bit more about the president's response.
Yeah, the president spoke about this a little earlier. He also put out a statement. Now, bear in mind, the president is pro-abortion. It's something that he has campaigned for, and he made it clear that he feels it is fundamental that a woman gets to choose her own rights when it comes to abortion law. She should get to make the decision. He also said that if the Supreme Court were to go ahead and this draft response were to play out when the ruling eventually comes out, probably in June, he said that it would be a radical decision, one that would be a fundamental shift in American jurisprudence. But he also suggested that it could affect basic rights across a whole range of sectors in American life. He suggested that potentially it's the beginning of a slippery slope that could go on to affect past rulings that the Supreme Court has made on issues such as gay marriage and voting rights. So it's something that he is going to campaign for, and he is urging all Democratic voters out there to make sure that they elect pro-abortion lawmakers when it comes to November's midterms. It is very likely that this is going to be an issue that now energizes the Democrats as they propel themselves towards those November midterms, one where we could see more Democrats voting as a result of this potential law change, which could get confirmed in a couple of months' time.
All right. Roe versus Wade seen as this huge benchmark. The ripple effect's already being felt. The Supreme Court ruling hasn't been confirmed yet. So what do we know thus far?
Well, what we know so far is these leaked documents were marked as being a first draft. So it is an opinion which 5 of the 9 justices agreed upon, feeling that Roe versus Wade, that allows abortion rights across the country, that back in 1973 gave women the right to get an abortion anywhere in the US, is something that is unconstitutional. 5 of those 9 justices said that Roe versus Wade was egregiously wrong from the start. So this is a first draft, and the Supreme Court has said that the leaked documents are real, but has also reminded the public that the 9 justices could change their opinions between now and when they finally publish their ruling, which is likely to be sometime in June. So yes, those are a leaked document. As we heard in Sherman's package just a moment ago, it's very unusual for leaks to come out of the Supreme Court, and as a result, they have demanded for an inquiry to start.
And we heard from an analyst, but remind us, if these leaked documents lead to a change in the law, what are the implications for any woman seeking an abortion in the US? What are the abilities of states to decide?
Well, currently at the moment, as it stands, and as it has stood for 49 years since 1973, it is a law on a federal level that allows a woman anywhere in the US to get an abortion. The change would come if the court were to overturn that decision, that it would then be up to the states to decide on a state level what they wanted to do. So every single state would get the decision whether they want to allow, restrict, or outright ban abortion across the US. And what it is therefore likely to lead to is a very clear divide in the United States between Republican-led states and Democrat-led states. In the Republican-led states, those abortion bans would likely be in place. In the Democrat states, women would continue to be allowed to get abortions. There is some estimates out there that this could affect about 36 million women and their ability to easily get an abortion. The potential that they would have to travel hundreds of miles to different states or potentially even different countries if they wanted to get an abortion. It would split the country when it comes to the Democrats and the Republicans. It's already a very divisive issue, but if this law were to be overturned in the next coming months, it would create a very clear divide between those Republican and Democrat-led states, giving each state the ability to choose. And that is something that Joe Biden is pushing back against. He's saying that this should be a federal issue, that it should be for all women in the country to decide their own choice choices and not something that the states get to pick and choose on.
All right, thank you. Please follow this story for us. That was Nick Harper live outside the Supreme Court.